I've had another challenging day today. Another great challenging day here at the control center. Oh, mercy. Let's go and see if we're streaming and let's rock and roll. Okay. Well, anyway, I got here. My computer's like frozen. And so we have to restart, and it takes a half an hour or something to get it all back together, at least. So now I'm just checking to see that it's working, and off we go. And there it is. Okay, so well, let's listen for sound. Yes, we got some, and off we go. I'm John Miglosh. Oops, let's go this way. I'm John Miglosh for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. And how are you today? Right. Okay, to start it off, good morning out there. Good morning. To start it off, I wanted to show you just a really fun integration between cultures. Okay, I think this is really pretty good. Let's make it a little bigger if I can. There we go. Okay, now you got to read the subtexts down below. Hello, I'm Colonel Sanders, because it goes a little fast. Here we go. We'll go back up. Here we go.
Hello, मैं हूँ Colonel Sanders. Welcome to KFC Land, the land of the tastiest chicken in the world. Made with a recipe so secret, दुनिया का कोई एजेंट इसे क्रैक नहीं कर पाया. यहाँ का हर chicken piece है fresh.
I love the Bollywood backgrounds and how he dances a little. And he's not overweight.
Take a trip to KFC Land for a finger-licking good time.
And that's just a fun example of how KFC has adapted their ads in India. And I just thought it was fun, so I thought I'd show it to you. I got a call from Car Lots yesterday. I'll try and put the link down below, but I did a show a week or two ago, and they had this dog drooling, and it smelled like perfume, or that was the premise. And then they said, you can't have your cake and eat it too. They're actually quite a good they're a good company about. I mean, I like what they're doing. You want to sell your car, they clean it up for you. So instead of taking it to a dealership where you get peanuts on a trade-in, or maybe you don't want a new car, maybe you don't want to trade it in, they will put it on the market for you, and they will sell it on consignment, so you make more money. So it's a nice deal. But anyway, we had a nice talk with Elizabeth, and she told me why they did what they did. And I kind of stand by my point that tell us what you do rather than, the crazy stuff you put up there. But, that's advertising for you. You never know. And I said, well, if sales take off and you really do well, then I'm wrong, right? And that happens. Sometimes the opposite does better. But I'm more of the David Ogilvy school, which I told her, that where if you're selling incontinence products, then say, do you suffer from incontinence, as the headline. Okay, here's a great little short article by Thomas Barta, who just, gives us a lot of wisdom. I like that. He says, you can help us love a brand. Oh, this lady comes in and says, and she gets hired, Nina. This is hypothetical. The CEO wanted to create a love brand. Nina was the marketing guru. Love at first sight. Nina signed up. 2 years later, Nina was out. The stint was a disaster. Early on, she'd analyzed where the firm needed improvement to become a love brand. She'd shed light on the points. She'd made ambitious plans. And when people raised doubts, she pushed back and shared examples of her vast previous experience. Sound like me. But they said, what Thomas says is, Nina lacked what psychologist Edwin Hollander calls idiosyncrasy. Idiosyncrasy. That's too big a word, Thomas. You need to boil that down. I credits. Okay, the credits that give outsiders the right to challenge the norms. And I love this part right here. To make change happen, first become a group member. Walk the shop. Help out in the call center. That's a really good one. I used to do that when I was VP of marketing, and the call people just loved it. They thought it was so funny, because the problem I had was customers would call up and say, "Hey, can I get a left-handed widget with my company name on it?" And it wouldn't be in our computer system. It wouldn't be in our catalog. But I knew it existed. I'd say, oh yeah, sure, we can get you that, sure. And I had no idea where to look for it or how to get it done. So they used to laugh at me. Anyway, so, but that builds eye credits, okay? Become part of the group by adding real value. Don't propose change unless people can say, she really knows what she's talking about. That is the kicker. And you know what? It's almost always more complicated than you thought when you shoot your mouth off. So maybe give yourself some pause. Now, all the rest of my... Yesterday I had too many things in my queue, and today they don't even show up. And so we'll go right over here to Mark, and it's not working the way it's supposed to. It's just phenomenally frustrating. It's like every day the software changes. And let's talk about CMOs on boards. This is why I don't normally move things over. Okay, on paper, it would seem like today's boards of directors should have an obvious interest in bringing marketers to the table. But you know what? What I've learned about C-level is, for the most part, they believe marketing is a commodity. They can't tell a great idea from a bad idea, really. So they let the marketer have enough rope to hang themselves. And they care about the impact to the bottom line, the money people. And that's what it's about. And if that's not what's going on, then they're not engaged. And so marketing people are in this world that finance people don't even see as existing. And that's why as important as marketing can be, I've doubled, tripled, tenfold increases in company size, multiplied profits, and the board never hears about it for the most part. The marketing person I'm reporting to is taking credit for it, and they don't even know what happened. And they don't. It's not real, like I said. And so don't expect this to happen, even though Spencer or Richard Sanderson and these guys think it should happen. Out of 1,000, out of 26 out of the thousands of public companies are currently occupied by marketing leaders, and usually they're marketing companies. Really, I mean, it's not a surprise if an Axiom or one of those companies has a marketing person on it. But your average company doesn't even believe you're real. And that's why this is so important for marketers to get. Unless they can operate in the world of finance, and that's where I would go one more level, Thomas, I would say implement the change first that will impact finance the most. It's not the weird breakthrough humorous commercials. It's the stuff that impacts the bottom line. It might be a better way to ship. It might be testing offers to find the most profitable one. That's the way a direct marketer would think. Is it more profitable to say buy one get one free, or free shipping, or 50% off, or $100 off with your $200 order? Those could all actually be the same finished price for the consumer. But one will be more powerful than another. And those are the kind of things that build this knows what she's talking about level. And if you don't know what order to test those, I recommend Scientific Advertising by Claude Hopkins at scientificadvertising.com. And if you haven't read it, it's a 100-year-old book, and it explains the way we find out what works. That's the kind of thing to implement first, because everything you do after that is credible. Everything you do after that moves the ball forward. Instead of, creating the love, we want to be the love brand that's not measurable, and there's going to be a lot of disagreement. Create a culture of testing. And if you don't know how to do that, go find an old marketing guy who's got lots of direct mail and direct marketing experience. I'm John Miglosh. Have a great day.